The void of space trembled as the Galactic Defense Fleet faced its darkest hour. Admiral Kane watched from the bridge of the flagship as enemy vessels swarmed through the outer perimeter like angry wasps. The Dominion had brought everything they had to this final confrontation above the colony world of New Terra. "Sir, we're losing ships faster than we can count," reported Lieutenant Brooks, his voice tight with barely controlled fear. "The enemy outnumbers us 3-1. Kane gripped the command rail as another friendly vessel exploded in brilliant white fire. The Dominion ships were sleek and deadly, their advanced technology far superior to anything the human fleet possessed. For months, they had pushed deeper into human space, conquering world after world with ruthless efficiency. "Where is the Black Star?" Kane demanded, his weathered face etched with desperation. The USS Black Star had been humanity's secret project for the past 5 years. While the rest of the fleet relied on conventional weapons and shields, the Black Star represented something entirely different. It was built not with superior technology, but with something the aliens had never encountered before: human ingenuity born from desperation. Captain Williams stood on the bridge of the Black Star, watching the battle unfold. Through the viewscreen, his ship hung back from the main engagement, seemingly abandoned and powerless. The crew had worked for weeks to make their vessel appear damaged and adrift. "All systems ready, Captain," announced Chief Engineer Martinez from his station. "The boys in the engine room are itching to show these invaders what human engineering can do." Williams nodded grimly. The Black Star looked like any other human vessel from the outside, but its interior told a different story. Instead of trying to match alien technology, the engineers had gone in the opposite direction. They had taken human manufacturing techniques and pushed them to their absolute limits. The ship's hull was not made from exotic materials, but from thousands of layers of ordinary steel, each one precisely manufactured and bonded using techniques borrowed from ancient sword-making. The result was armor that bent rather than shattered, absorbing energy in ways that confused enemy sensors. "Signal from Admiral Kane, sir," reported Communications Officer Davis. "He's requesting immediate assistance." Williams watched as another human ship succumbed to Dominion fire. The enemy had grown confident, their formations becoming looser as they pressed their advantage. It was exactly what he had hoped for. "All hands battle stations," Williams announced over the ship's intercom. "Today we show the galaxy what happens when you underestimate humanity." The Black Star suddenly roared to life, its engines blazing, as it accelerated toward the battle. But instead of attacking the enemy ships directly, it performed a maneuver that left both sides stunned. The vessel spun end over end, using its momentum to scatter a cloud of what appeared to be metallic dust throughout the battlefield. "What are they doing?" Admiral Kane wondered aloud as he watched the bizarre display. The Dominion fleet initially ignored the human ship's strange behavior, focusing their fire on the more threatening vessels. But within minutes, their advanced targeting systems began to malfunction. The metallic particles were not dust at all, but millions of tiny mirrors, each one precisely crafted to reflect and scatter sensor beams. "Their accuracy is dropping," reported Lieutenant Brooks with growing excitement. "The enemy can't lock onto our ships properly." But the Black Star was far from finished. As Dominion vessels moved to surround the seemingly defenseless human ship, Captain Williams revealed his true strategy. The vessel's hull suddenly opened in dozens of places, not to reveal weapons, but to deploy something far more dangerous: human creativity. Hundreds of small pods launched from the Black Star, each one following a seemingly random trajectory. The Dominion ships, confused by the chaotic movement, wasted precious seconds trying to target the pods. When they finally opened fire, they discovered that the pods were made of the same reflective material as the dust, bouncing energy beams. In unpredictable directions, the pods reached their targets and attached themselves to Dominion hulls with simple magnetic clamps. Inside each pod was not a bomb or advanced weapon, but something far more devastating to the alien mindset, a human maintenance robot programmed with centuries of mechanical knowledge. Within minutes, the robots had begun their work. They did not try to destroy the alien ships, but instead began making small, seemingly insignificant modifications to external systems. A sensor array would be rotated just a few degrees. A cooling vent would be partially blocked. An antenna would be slightly bent. The Dominion crews, trained to deal with direct attacks and advanced warfare, had no idea how to respond to this approach. Their ships began to suffer cascading system failures as precisely placed modifications disrupted the delicate balance of their technology. "Captain, we're receiving surrender signals from the enemy flagship," reported Davis, his voice filled with disbelief. Williams smiled as he watched the once mighty Dominion fleet struggle with problems their advanced computers could not solve. The aliens had superior weapons and shields, but they had never encountered an enemy that understood this simple truth, that all technology, no matter how advanced, relied on basic mechanical principles. The battle ended not with a massive explosion or heroic sacrifice, but with the gradual realization that sometimes the most effective weapon against overwhelming technological superiority was not more technology, but the willingness to think differently. As the Dominion ships limped away from the battlefield, their crews would carry with them a new understanding of humanity. They had learned that humans did not win through superior firepower or advanced science, but through the dangerous combination of creativity, stubbornness, and the refusal to accept that any problem was unsolvable. Admiral Kane opened the communication channel to the Black Star. "Captain Williams, how did you know that would work?" Williams chuckled as he looked out at the retreating alien fleet. "Simple, Admiral. We may not have their fancy technology, but we have something they don't. 5,000 years of experience fixing things that were never supposed to break." The USS Black Star had indeed left a lasting impact, not just on the battle, but on the entire galaxy's perception of humanity. Word would spread among the stars that humans were not to be underestimated, not because of their weapons or their technology, but because of their unique ability to find solutions where others saw only problems. And in the years that followed, when alien civilizations spoke of the Battle of New Terra, they would remember not the ships that were destroyed, but the day they learned that sometimes the most dangerous enemy is the one who refuses to fight by your rules.